Hello, and welcome to Playing by Ear. I'm Amy.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Kyle.
Each episode of this podcast, one of us or a guest will bring an album they love to be presented and analyzed, track by track, to explore what makes it special and why they think it's not just worth playing, but replaying. This episode, I'm bringing Sounds Like This by Eric Hutchinson.
Yeah, we're doing a soul album. It's a white soul album, but it's a soul album, which is a little change of pace here.
Yeah, so I was going to do something that I knew Kyle and I were going to love, and then it's just like I had a last minute change. And so
Aren't
here
those
we
the
are.
best? Those are the best.
Are they? I don't
They
know.
they
Yeah, you
happen
go with your gut. And it's not like the other album ceases to exist. You can still pick
Exactly.
it later.
Exactly.
unless somebody beats you to it, but we'll see about
I
that.
know. Kyle keeps threatening to beat me with Matchbox 20.
I know. It's whichever one of you gets to it first, I guess is the question.
I know.
But yeah, so here we are talking about Sounds Like This by Eric Hutchinson. And you're up first, Dame. So tell us why you picked this one.
I don't know. I mean, I was just saying it's like
Oh, that was it.
no, I mean, I always want to like win you guys over. I always say this like I'm a broken record, but I want to pick an album that like I know you're generally Doug, you're generally pretty like enjoying of everything we all pick. Your scores are generally higher than everybody
I'm
else's.
Mr. 7 out of 10 in life, which is like I think our mutual friend Dan Oster like was describing. Oh, that's the Doug scale. Everything is seven between 7 and 10.
You are like very good at just tolerating basically everything.
I put up with a lot. Go
I
on.
I put up with significantly less, and Kyle's like somewhere in between, I think. But
I think that
musically,
you've nailed that.
musically, Kyle is tough. He's a tough nut to crack, and so every episode, I'm trying to like find something that he's like, oh my God, that's amazing.
I mean,
So
your
that was
last two, though,
what were my
your
last two?
last two, Great
Susan and Dixie.
Divide and
Oh,
Yeah, it was Great Divide
yeah,
and Wide Open
Great
Spaces.
Divide and
Which,
Dixie
yeah,
Chicks. Yeah.
those are well
yeah.
received.
Even Susan Tedeschi was not poorly received by all.
I don't think any of us have
What's
picked an album
not?
that was poorly received, but there's definitely been highs and lows.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's been some lows. There's been some around the 70 mark, and those are always like, wow, that's like 10 whole points lower.
Is it? I can't imagine there's that many that are down there though, but we'll do the rundown later at the end of the episode.
I
Yeah.
got some
So
numbers, yes.
Yes. So essentially, this is an album that I really enjoy. I don't think that it's like the deepest music you're ever going to hear, but I do think it's a lot of fun. And I was listening to it not that long ago, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a great album. Let's do it. And so here we are.
okay. So talking about personal experience with it. So for me, like many of Amy's picks, my that I didn't previously know going in. I know it because I've been in the car with you. And so I've heard this album quite a bit. I've also heard some of his subsequent work, in particular the album that's immediately after this, which I actually like slightly better than this one. I think some of the low cards on that album are lower. They're not as good, but the highs are higher for me personally.
I almost thought you said low carbs.
Yes, you can eat this album. It's very low carbs in physical media. Um, Yes, but like I still really appreciate this first album. We did see him live once at the Coach House, and it was great. He's a very good, entertaining live performer, and of course, he did many songs from this album. This album contains a lot of the songs that he's most known for. This one and the next one, really, those two are kind of like the core of what you hear at an Eric Hutchinson concert. And I just like every time you put this on, it was always for me, it was always an easy listen. Like I would never be like, oh, okay, I got to sit through this one.
Hmm.
It was always like, yeah, sure, I can go along with this. So that's all the experience I have. So Kyle, I think you had none, right? This was a complete blank for you.
Yeah, completely zilch. There's one song, Rock and Roll, where I think I mean it feels a little familiar. That's about it. It just feels familiar, but
Hmm.
basically never heard any of it and have never even heard this guy's name before. I was thinking that you're talking, this is a guy from Hunger Games, but that's Josh Hutcherson. A little
Oh
different.
yeah. Yeah, and as far as I know, he doesn't have an album out, but I could be wrong. He could be a musician. I don't know.
I have no idea.
So my is this when I talk about
Here,
my
yeah,
personal experience with the album? So
yeah.
when I worked, and I've always worked in an office, but when I worked in a law firm, I don't know how many years ago this came out, we always had Pandora on, and this album or songs from this album kept showing up on Pandora. And I guess back in the day, Perez Hilton came out and like introduced this album
Hmm.
and loved it or something like that. I think I was reading. And so it just started exploding. And I think that explains like every time I put on like my Matchbox 20-ish, Guster-ish type station on Pandora, just I kept hearing these songs. And so finally I was just like, all right, I gotta buy this album because literally every single song I'm hearing, I'm enjoying and I'm liking. And so that's what this came out of. So yeah, and then you're right, the second album we listened to it recently, and that was great. I forgot that there were so many good tracks on that one, but this is the one we're starting with. Maybe we'll get to that one eventually. But yeah, so I've heard it now. What year did it come out?
2008.
2008. So that's, almost 20 years of this album.
Yeah, I was wondering as you said that, I'm like, I bet what the algorithm is really pinging on might be Jason Mraz because this is
Mhm.
the
Oh
closest
yeah.
That's true.
musical cousin that I
Yeah,
could think
yeah,
of for
yeah.
like a major artist.
Yeah.
Like I could feel like Pandora going, "Oh, you like that, do you? Well,
Mhm.
then here's Eric Hutchinson."
And what's interesting is like that was the day of the days of Pandora. Like it's not so much like that now where it's like I feel like now it plays like one track, like it would play the popular Jason Mraz song. I mean, all of these songs, honestly, were playing. So, like, whoever was in charge of Pandora and like the shuffle and like introducing new artists was like so different than it is now. I feel like significantly less like I'm getting introduced to new things on Pandora. I
Yeah.
don't know why this became a Pandora discussion, but go on.
Well, let's. This kind of segues well into overall thoughts and impressions. So, as I've indicated, my overall thoughts and impressions on this album are pretty good. He's an excellent musician. I've having seen him live, like he plays both piano and guitar, and he plays them both very well. He definitely knows his stuff. You can tell the influences he's drawing from, but like I think these are really, cheery for the most part, very, ingratiating melodies that are, like I said, easy on the ears. Like this is a fun, breezy listen. It's not long. It's 10 tracks. And as I was listening to it, like granted, I have my favorites, but I think there are lots of them you could make the case for like if I was in the music biz and I had to figure out which is going to be the single that we lead off with, the ones we try and push up the radio, like they're fairly similarly like of a similar quality. So I could see any one of these potential, most of them, kind of taken off. I don't know that any of them charted or did much, although I feel like, yeah, I've heard them around. Like maybe they get used in commercials or things like that. So like hopefully he's had some success out of this. But like yeah, as you said, it's not the deepest album in the world. It's not the most musically diverse or complex, but it is a tasty snack
Yeah.
of an album. And I'm always, like I said, anytime this comes on in the car, I'm having a good time. Like I'm not going to skip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I wasn't happy up front. It was another Amy album, basically. It's like,
What do you
okay,
mean by that? Like of
I'm
Jason Mraz?
Jason Mraz,
Every three
James
episodes,
Morrison.
man, it happens again.
Yeah, Amy, your style is limited. We don't see you do things from the 60s or 70s or 80s. It's all from like 95 to 2010, which is fine. You have your style and it's you and it's good. But for me, a lot of times it's like, oh, here we go again. So there was that initially. And then his vocals aren't really my style because there's not a ton of energy at first. But but took a little while to get this going. But after I started listening and started, I got to like listen number five. I got there. It's just that first few. I think with a lot of this stuff that I don't know, getting through those first two, three, four listens is just difficult. But after listening, this guy's a good songwriter. I could tell right away. I don't know that I'd want to listen to this a lot, but I totally think that there's lots of good songs on here. These songs vibe a lot. The instrumentation is awesome. There's the keyboards, the drums, the bass, the guitar, all of it. It's clean. There's some really good hard grooves in there. It's chill. It's laid back. I think that it's really good. It's just not something I would normally go after. Is kind of my first impression of it. And then as we go through the songs, you'll see where they land for me. But I was surprisingly impressed after how I felt right when I heard it up front. So I think it got positive after a while.
Yeah. Um, that's good. I think that yeah, like he's just a really good songwriter, in terms of writing a hook, I think, and writing a melody. The lyrics, some I think are really strong, some are kind of middle. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
anything's terrible. And that's going to be reflected in my score. I don't think that these are tracks, like I said, that are overly deep for the most part. Like this is something if I want to just stay in a good mood, like I'm going to play this kind of music. And so it's not going to like make me ponder my life significantly. There's a couple of tracks that are a
Hmm.
little bit in that direction. This sounds negative, but I don't mean it negatively. I love the melodies. I think I enjoy his vocals. I think he sometimes reaches and there's almost a rasp, but it's not quite there. But I do really, I just think it's a lot of fun, I guess, is kind of where I land. That's my overall thoughts and impressions on it.
All right. Well, now that we've kind of done the overall stuff, let's dig into it. So, Kyle, kick us off with track number one.
Yeah, so track by track here. So this puppy came out May 20th of 2008, and Eric wrote all the songs. So really simple. I think Rock and Roll was a single. I don't know how high it got. I didn't really look up chart stuff, but I do know that the album climbed up to number 134 on the 200. And hey, that's still impressive. It charted. So let's start going through the songs here. The lead off track here is called Okay, It's All Right With Me.
Okay is alright with me. Some things are just meant to be. It never comes easily, and when it does, I'm already gone. I'm practically never still, more likely to move until I end up alone at will. My life continues hitching along. When Bernadette comes, I get lost on her time. She's much too sweet, and she's always gonna be. And when I return to her arms and her eyes, it might not be the same, but it's alright with me. Okay is alright with me. Some people are scared to say what's
This is a shorty. It's the shortest on the album at 2.5 minutes. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, I think this is a solid opener, and often with I think a lead off track, you're looking for it to be a little bit of a thesis statement. Like, okay, what am I in for? Usually a representative of like the kind of music you're going to hear, and that's definitely the case. Um, Eric Hutchinson never met a seventh chord he didn't like. This thing opens up with a lot of like blonk. Okay, it's all right with bonk, bonk, bonk. He loves that. There's so many seventh chords all over this album. Um, but it kind of settles in, right? This is a very like there you can feel like jazz influence and like guys like Stevie Wonder you can hear a lot of in what he does. And so I really like this one, and it doesn't really structurally it's interesting. Like it's not quite verse chorus. In fact, the verses sound like the chorus. This okay, it's all right with me. Like it starts with that. So but that feels very chorusy. And then when he gets to the second, like the part B, which is this when Bernadette comes, da, 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 that feels like a bridge. So it's interesting that like you don't quite have like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus out. Like it's not that structure. Um, I think the vocals are really good here. I mean, overall his vocals are great. I think he's a very solid singer. Um, when he kind of gets to that part where he's just singing "It's All Right with Me" near the end of the song, it's all right. Like he's doing all these runs. I think that sounds really like great. Like this is just this is such an easy song to like for all of that. The only other thing, like lyrically, I didn't look at this stuff as closely as sometimes I do. I will notice he drops this name of Bernadette. I know he has other songs with that name in there, so I don't know if that's an actual person's name or he's using that as a substitute, probably for instead of using her real name. Just because you don't meet a lot of Bernadettes. It's kind of an out of fashion name. I think the Four Tops have a song called Bernadette, and that song's from
Dad,
yeah,
something like that.
that's it. And it's
Yeah.
like, from 1965 or whenever that song is from. Um, but overall, yeah, this is a really great lead off track. And I'll just hand it over to you, Kyle.
Okay. I didn't like this one up front initially, but I think like most of the album, it grew on me. And I think that that's kind of the best way to describe this one is it's like this song is kind of a crescendo in numbers to me. It just kind of gets better. Um, I like that it comes in right away with those vocals. Those things just smack right away and you are in. It's got those two parts. I totally agree with what you said, Doug. Like, I don't know what's the verse and what's the chorus, but there's definitely a clear A and a B part. And whatever that A part is, the main part, like that's kind of the sing-alongable chorus. So, but it's kind of cool that it's not really standard structure. Um, so yeah, got that down here. I like the production. I think just initially it's with this kind of production and instrumentation, you kind of see, which you will find out later, that this is sort of the style of the album with that piano kind of going on. There's some guitar in there. It kind of sets up the rest of the album pretty good. That second B part is pretty chorus. I like the piano. It feels like it's in a different key. Like, I don't know if it's actually a different key or if just the chord's different, but the two parts seem different, but they go together pretty well. There's some nice quiet background vocals actually in that second part. You don't hear them very loud, but with the headphones on, you can hear them cranking. So another thing about this song is that it never really stops, kind of like my mouth right now, and I just keep talking where the vocals for the song just keep going. Like there's not really a musical break. I think that that would probably help it if it had some sort of different kind of maybe minor or like an actual bridge or like a variation. But the groove is cool. I like it. It's short and sweet. It's quick. It's 2.5 minutes. I think after listening to this over and over again, I like it as a lead-off track. It reminds me of a lead-off track on, I think it was Ben Queller's album. It was a quick little 1 minute and 50-second guy. So it kind of reminds me of that. Not my favorite song on this album, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you guys said. I do think it's a good start. It's got like a groove. I like these are the words like when I think of this album, I think it's like groovy, vibey. Like there's like a feel to it that you can't really describe with other words. And so he's definitely setting you up for like this is what you're going to get. And I think I should have mentioned this in my overall thoughts and impressions. I do think that like the lack of dynamics, it didn't affect my score because my score is really high, but I could see where you guys would be annoyed at the lack of dynamics because it's basically straight through, like the same feel. There's a couple of songs towards the end that kind of change and are slightly more ballady that they could have put somewhere else to kind of break it up a little bit. So I thought that was kind of it's not really a negative, it's just a commentary on maybe if I was rearranging things, it would have been a little bit different. But that's not what we're talking about right now. So I like the song. I've always really liked the song. I think that the vocals are really clear. I like the piano forward. A lot of these songs are piano forward. He's obviously a pianist. I like the infusion of the instruments. I think that the lyrics, I'll come in with all the lyrics because I did spend a lot of time on them, just probably because I know these songs so well. I'm able to dive more into the lyrics with these new tracks that you guys are bringing me. I don't always get there because I'm so focused on like the structure and like what instruments I'm hearing, but this kind of album I'm able to dive more into, and they're really simple lyrics. They're not like really deep lyrics. They're just kind of like you take them for what they are. And I think that's a great message on this one. It's like, okay, it's all right with me. And at first I was like, I wonder if he's saying it so much to convince himself that everything's okay, but I really do think he's just like, I'm gonna live my life and whatever happens happens. And I just think that's such a great mindset. I wish I was more like that. I'm not. I don't know that it's a bridge. I think it's a pre-chorus. I think we've got verse and pre-chorus or chorus
It's
verse.
got a chorus and a pre-chorus. It's
Yeah.
like it leads back into okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
Time.
Again, it's not a negative, but I do think he could have broken it up with another part. But again,
Mhm.
I like that it's short and sweet. I like that it's a short edit and I didn't go overboard because it could have very much been too jammy and too long and I would have been annoyed. I like the end jammy part. He almost gets screamy and more raspy towards the end. I'm going to stab Doug with this. I'm sorry. I'm very emphatic with my hands right now.
It's not the hand, it's the pen that's in the hand. You're gonna kill
This is
me.
where Ben gets it from. Ben always has to have something in his hands, and that's me right now. And yeah, so big, strong song. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. That's it.
All right.
All right, let's get some ratings going here for the first track, lead-off track. What you got, Doug?
88.
Okay. This one's a 78 for me.
Okay. And I'm a 94.
All right. So I'm already out of the 80 bandwagon, so you can kind of count me out, but we're gonna get there. We just didn't start there.
We already talked about what we think your score is going to be about.
Did
And
we?
no, Doug and I privately.
Really?
Yeah, we had like little
For
guesses. Not overall, but like I felt like you were going to be like nothing was going to dip below a 70, but this album was just going to be kind of mid for you.
okay.
That
What
was
would
our
be a mid score for me? Would an 80 or 85, like where on on
I think high 70s for you is like mid.
mid is usually like 75. I didn't think you were going to dip maybe one song below a 70, but like 70 and up is basically my guess. Probably
okay.
not too many in the 90s.
Okay. Let's come back to this at the end. I definitely already know answers, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Fun times for us podcasters on a Saturday
I'm
night.
very chatty. This is going to take all night.
Well, 10 songs. Yeah, it could be 10 hours at this rate with our drinking and our having fun
I know
here.
I am drinking. That's probably what it is.
Hmm.
All right, Doug, take us, or Kyle, what's the second track?
I'll get us there. Yeah. So, second track on this album is called You Don't Have to Believe Me.
You don't have to believe me. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen all the attention get from other guys. You don't have to believe me when they tell you I like your dress. You sure better believe me when I say you deserve respect. It feels like nobody's on your side. No access to your pride. You gotta learn to take control. Nobody is a temple soul. You gotta trust in me, and your mind is what's at stake. So before we build this love, please believe that you're good enough. You don't have to believe me. I'm not off the road. They've been taking advantage, and it's gone on slow. You don't have to
This is 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm going to get us going here. So this one's got a real raw live kind of feel. Just want to kind of sing along, grooving all the instruments. I want to clap. You don't have to believe me. Yeah, you just feel that groove. That whole verse is one chord. It's just one chord. That's all. There's a lot of stuff going on behind it, so I appreciate it and it's cool. But it's really just one chord, and it's impressive that a band. This is a band. I mean, this guy's I'm sure playing instruments and all that, but this is a band kind of a groove thing. It's impressive that they can do one chord and get away with it and make it sound so cool and raw. The vocals for this one are banging. He's belting it out. And really just kind of the overall feel of just the vocals in general and the music, all of it just kind of hits hits home. You don't get a chord change on the song until about a minute, which is okay because when you get there, it's a really nice release. This also is kind of like the last song to where there's really just kind of like the two parts. There's not a lot of different variation. It's definitely like not a lot of dynamics, but the sound and the feel that is there, and the production, the percussion, and the keyboards, and whatever other kind of instruments are going on in there, it's all really solid. I would also say, like the last song, I don't love this song, but I think this is really rad for the style that it is, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's going to be better than the last one for me. So I give this one a thumbs up for sure.
Yeah, I like this one. I don't like it as much as the last one, but it's got this like to it, like grittiness, I think is
Yep,
the word.
that is the word,
Like
gritty,
getting
exactly.
down and gritty, and it feels like kind of like you said, raw. It's like, it's like, what is that? Grit.
Grr,
Yeah,
yeah.
grr. And I like the message of it too. He's just like, you don't have to believe me, but you're cool. You're worth it. And it's like he's trying to convince this person to like have more self-confidence, and he likes her more than she likes herself kind of vibes. And it's just kind of like sweet, which is interesting because the sound of it is so gritty, but he's really just trying to convince this girl that she's like worth it all, and she's hot. And the last line he says, I tell your mind's what's hot. And I like that line because it's like it's not just her body, but the whole package is hot. I like that, like you said, the groove of it. There's some nice harmonies in the chorus, and the vocals I think are really strong. It's upbeat, but it's just kind of dark musically. So it's like a nice juxtaposition of like that. Very soulful. I like this one. Not my favorite, but I do like it.
Yeah, I like this one too for the reasons you already said, right? It is that groove that drives this. I mentioned Stevie Wonder as an influence
Oh,
before.
yeah.
This one's the most Stevie Wonder, I think, out of anything. Again, like the seventh chords, like you said, it stays in that mode. One of the things that helps because it's a seventh chord is the seventh chord is a little more versatile. It's a little harder to nail down because that last note, the seventh note, is dissonant, right? It's out of,
Yeah.
if it was a whole chord, it would just be a high C if it was a C chord, right? But it's the B below it. That makes it a little bit of a chameleon as a chord goes, and it gives you more room to kind of do different things with it. Um, so like he can stay in that mode longer, but like it's not just the chord that it's just that like wham, boom, bam. Like the beat to this is strong, and his again, like he's not again, there's no rasp in his vocals, but he's grinding away as best he can with his very smooth sounding vocals. And so this song is, yeah, it's a vibe, and definitely having seen him, this kills live. Like it just feels great. And I love that the song is a compliment.
Mhm.
You know, like that that's what he's doing. He's giving a person to a compliment who's not totally receptive to it, which we've all been there. Like someone you're trying to tell a person like, no, you're good, you're attractive, you're funny, you're worthwhile as a human being, whatever. And people are like, oh, whatever. No. And like you have to kind of do a little work to convince them to hear that. And that's what the song is, right? He's just, continuing to tell this woman, how great she is. I really like the bridge here because it feels like it starts to build up energy, especially that, it feels like nobody's on your side, no access to your pride. And he keeps kind of going up and up the scale
Mhm.
and upping and up the intensity until he finally goes like, wow, and then like dives back into, you don't have to believe me. I think that's really well like structured in the song. Like it's like, it just feels like this great release of energy, but the song never loses that much energy. It gets right back into that groove and keeps everything moving. So yeah, another one I thoroughly enjoy. I do think the outro might be a smidge long, but that's a very minor nitpick.
All right. I think we can do us some ratings now. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
start us. We go over the line for this one. I got an 81.
86.
Also 86.
Ding, ding, ding.
Double ding. All right, let's move on. Track number 3 here. This is called Outside Villanova.
Oh, 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 oh. And now I'm trying to decide if I feel dirty or 'cause it gets hard to tell. It's never just black and white. She's got a mind of her own, and she uses it well. So she invites me over outside Villanova. She got some pull-out sofa that we won't hardly need. She's only drinking soda, revving up that motor. Got places we could go to, but I still won't believe that she's only gifted when I'm sitting by her side. She goes, oh, sister, and I start to relax as I cut her some slack. So get up, I gotta go to work, facing all these people now know I'm a jerk, and it's a setup. I gotta change my clothes, concealing all this evidence before everybody knows what I've done and what I'm gonna do again. And in the middle of the night, I have a great
4 minutes, 15 seconds. Go ahead, Im.
I'm just realizing I didn't write my score down for this one. Uh-oh. I'll have to make it up and hopefully it's right at the end. Oops.
I do some
my
math.
I don't know if I can do that kind of math.
Give it a score that's the same as your overall
Well,
average.
I know
No
what my
change.
average is, and I
Oh.
know what the other scores are.
All right.
Anyways,
I think you just have to do it on the spot and then go do some
Ugh.
math and
I'll
pause.
just give you guys a range of what I think it would be. All right. Anyways, this song, did you guys look at the lyrics for this?
Mhm.
It's a little scandalous. He's dating an underage girl. That's essentially the vibe of this song, and he doesn't want to get caught and
Huh.
is like threatening him, and he doesn't want the cops to show up. But it's hidden behind this really pretty little groovy little song. It's got a cute little piano, and I think all the cadence of the words against the piano is really fun. Only drinking soda, revving up that motor, got places we could go, but I still like it's just fun. It's got like it's a vibe. It's another song that has a vibe. I like the harmonies, the bridge melody is what I wrote down. Uh, she grows impatient to change my tune. She's getting older and legal soon. And I wasn't ready to start out and go upsetting some girl that I'd be forgetting by the time the cops came by that afternoon. I mean, that's it's a scandal, and I don't know why I like the song so much, but I just think it's like so groovy and so fun.
I wonder if he
Um,
still plays this live now as like a 40 or 50-year
oh,
old.
I know, and he's married with like I think he has a daughter, so I don't know if he's playing this song anymore.
It's one
But
of his more popular ones, though. I
I
think
know
he has to keep playing
it's
it.
just so good, and you know what it is a lot of these songs are storytelling. You know, he's telling a story, and I think he's really good at it. And the way that he writes his lyrics, they're just fun, and you just want to keep you want another like I want more choruses. I want to know what happens next, and I think that that's a skill to really pull someone in like that. So this one is very strong. Again, I don't know what the score is unless you guys want to let me go run downstairs and check. Um,
No, just give it a score later, and we'll just have to stop and do the math. That's all.
okay.
All right. It's me, right? Yeah. Yeah, I like this one too. Like again, like it's very jazzy, it's very fun. What really makes this one work for me is it's the cadence for a lot of this. Like the way he kind of he's kind of ramps up, ramps down. Things are syncopated, they're not syncopated. There's a lot of word kind of not wordplay in the sense that he's like doing like puns and things, but he's playing with the words and the way they sound and the way they come out. So like the meter is very complex for this song. And so like you'll hear that in the clip, of course, that we put in here. But like I think to me that's what makes it work because it makes everything feel kind of like slightly unpredictable in a way that he's like, oh, I'm really kind of holding your attention because I'm constantly playing with the way you expect the next set of syllables to sound. So they're like complex. The lyrics are complex, like up against the melody, like the way
Yeah.
he's doing that. And to me, that's one of the song's biggest strengths. The fact that she's dating an underage girl, like I assume like with songs like this, that it's a storytelling device. He doesn't mean himself personally. I mean, there's lots of songs like that. Aqualung by Jethro Tull. Hell, I saw her standing there. I think she was just 17, if you know what I mean. So
It's a legal age of consent in some places.
in Liverpool, I don't know if it
I don't know
is.
about that, but I know in some places it's fine.
All right. Well, anyway, the point is like you can sneak stuff like this into a song because it's, fiction. But setting that aside, I think that again, yeah, this is about we keep using that word groove, but like this song is really, rocking back and forth in different ways that are very interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this one took me a little while to get moving on it because it's not very standard as far as its like layout. Um, but after a while, it grew on me. I think it has a rad chord progression and the instrumentation for it is just rocking. I think his vocals really shine in this song. I think it really fits the music that's going on. I think if as I'm listening, I get to this one and I'm like, oh yeah, like we're finally getting something that's kind of grindy and my style, and it really all kind of it feels it's got a good feel and it all fits to something I want to listen to. It's got a really hard groove. That verse is just a really hard minory kind of groove, and I really like it. The chorus is interesting to me because to me it's sort of a two-part chorus because that whole part after where he goes, "Get up, I gotta go to work." Like that's still kind of like the chorus, but it's like the second part of the chorus. When the verse comes back in after that, you don't even really know that you're back in the verse. You're just kind of there, and it's really odd, but it's really cool. I like the guitar work in this song. There's lots of waka wakas kind of happen in the background. It's got a minor melody overall, which I really like. We all always like that stuff. As far as style, this definitely feels different from the first two, but it puts it more like in a direction of something that I would want to hear like a lot. It's got like this rock, reggae groove, sort of pop, Led Zeppelin, Bob Marley, Maroon 5,
You know what I thought of
jammy.
as you were saying that, Kyle? It finally occurred to me like what it is. It's the Police. It's that the drumming is very
Oh yeah, for this
like the
song.
kind of like as the way they would do
It's
it.
got a lot of
Yeah.
like 16th note hi-hat stuff going on. Yeah. Um, this song even has a bridge. Like, cool. We actually got it's different than the first two. There's an actual, like a solid bridge. Yeah, this is the best song so far. It just keeps getting better, really. I mean, we went from a 78 to an 81, so we'll see where this one goes, but it's definitely a more fun place to be.
Yeah.
Ratings.
Ratings, I'm making it up because I don't remember what I wrote. But this is one of my favorites, so I'm gonna give it a 95.
Okay. I give it an 88.
All right. And I give it an 85.
I'm not gonna go back and fix my average. So if you're a fact checker out there, just don't do it, okay?
Fuck you, math.
Fuck you, math guy. Okay? Don't
Fuck
worry
all the
about
math
it. Don't
people.
take us so seriously, Jesus. Okay? All right, next song.
Awesome. All right, let's finish up here. Oh no, we're not finishing up the first side. We're only at the fourth song here.
Yeah.
Song number 4 is called Food Chain.
I wake up in this oblivious state, go to sleep trying to save some face, 'cause I've never been one for acting naive. And so what? We got nothing to prove. Why on earth would we soften the mood? Do we think that this wire is better left live? 'Cause look around, everybody's on a food chain. Funny, but from day to day we get from bottom to top. And if you get lost, you start over again. But we don't ever get to, no, we don't ever get to stop. I would've known better if I was on the outside. I would've known better if I was on the outside. Looking in, but this chain just leads away. And the people who use it, no one's gonna say that it's easy losing touch with who we need when it's lonely on the outside.
3 minutes 41 seconds. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, I'm not quite as hot on this one. And I think what was interesting is I think when we were listening to this album in the car, like this one would never come on. And for some reason, I feel like you must have had, I don't know if it was one of those weird iTunes things where like sometimes like a track is just not there. Or you only had some of the album and not the whole thing. So I remember the first time I actually sat down to listen to this whole album, I was like, what is this? I didn't know it existed. It's okay. It's not, again, not bad, but it's mid-tempo. It kind of, after the last one being so kind of interesting, this one's kind of just a little dopey. It's a little doop 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 boop doop boop. It just kind of bounces back and forth. It's kind of got like a Billy Joel feel to it, but not, I don't know, but not like necessarily his best stuff, but it's just got kind of a little bit of that. The chorus is kind of the memorable part of it. But it doesn't, yeah, nothing about this really just moves me, like gets me excited the way some of the other stuff in the album does. So this is going to be one of my lower scores. Again, not like, it's not unpleasant to listen to. It's not a failure of a song, but it just isn't quite up to, I think, the standard he set with some of the other ones.
Where do you think I'm going to go, Amy? Am I going to be better than Doug or worse than Doug?
You like it.
Okay.
That's a no.
Yeah, I think this is the hit. I don't know why this wasn't the hit. This is the pop song. This is the catchy one. I totally like this. I feel different than you, Doug. I don't know why this was not like the radio release with a video, aiming for the stars. I mean, it's got the intro part that comes back around later. It's got a great verse. It's got a pre-chorus. It's got a chorus. It's got a bridge that's sing-alongable, and it even has a piano solo in it. There's a lot of aspects to this thing. The different verses with the lyrics and the melody, it's really just an A. Like it's just like quality stuff here. I still don't know that this is the style that I would always want to listen to, but this is one when it comes on, I'm gonna keep it on. The chorus makes me want to shake my ass, is what I wrote down. Doesn't make me want to shake my ass hard because it's not like really fast and upbeat. It's kind of mid-tempo, but I still kind of want to shake it. So yeah, this one moves me. I like it. Cheers, Amy. Good one to bring to the table.
Okay. I was kind of like Doug towards the beginning of this listen. I've always known this song, but it's never been one that I would be like, oh, it's not okay. It's all right with me. It's like kind of just okay. And like the more I kept listening to it, I was like, damn, that verse melody, like is so fucking good. Don't let this affect the game. Like this, it's just pretty. Um, I think it's one of the best melodies. It's not my highest score because I don't like it as much overall, but there's something that about that melody, especially in the verse, that is just digging into me and undeniable. Lyrically, I don't really know what's going on here. Something about like easier to see the truth from the outside. And I wrote down recurring cycle of relationship because apparently that's what I was analyzing, but I couldn't tell you what that means now. Um, like funny from day to day, we get from bottom to top. I actually don't even know if he's talking about a relationship or about just like life in general.
That's what I got was just like, man, I sometimes you have bad days, but they're not all going to be bad because some like everyone's on the food
Yeah.
chain, but
Yeah.
sometimes you're on the bottom getting
Yeah.
eaten, and sometimes you're on the top eating
Yeah.
everybody else. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I
Um,
see it too. Yeah.
but yeah, I think that the tone of his vocals is pretty nice. It's just equal, like all parts of it are just like very catchy. Like you said, Kyle, there's a nice piano break. I like the bridge. There's some great harmonies here. I mean, all of these songs have the same things that I'm saying, a nice melody and nice harmonies and what a cool bridge, you know. So I'm not saying anything mind shattering here, but overall, it's very pleasant. That's all I have
Yeah.
to say.
Okay. All right. Let's see what kind of ratings we got. Doug, you first.
70.
All right. I'm at an 88, highest so far.
I'm at an 87.
Okay. All right. Now we get to close out the first side on a 10-song record, song number 5. This is the single, Rock and Roll.
He's been waiting around for the weekend, figuring which club is sneaking. Fancy drinks and $50 cover charge. Lately it's been a big hassle. Heineken to Newcastle to make sure he's fitting in and living large. Disregard the lies that he will tell him what he's probably like, 'cause it's not hard. His charm's gonna get him through the night. If you wanna rock, you rock. If you wanna roll, you roll. He can roll with the punches as long as he feels like he's in control. And if he wanna stay, he stays. If he wanna go, he goes. He doesn't care how he gets there, as long as he gets somewhere he knows. Oh no, and na 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 na. And na 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 na. See her, heavy makeup and
3 minutes, 58 seconds. I'm going to get us going. So immediately when I heard this, it feels like I've listened to it before, and it's kind of cheesy. Like I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of like this kind of poppy reggae kind of thing. But it grows on me. This is this earworm. This is the one where you wake up in the middle of the night singing if you want to rock. And he does this thing where it's if he wants to rock, if she wants to rock, if they like he changes that every time. I think that that's really cool. Cool to do things like that with the lyrics. Definitely not my favorite on the album, but I like it and it just keeps growing. Like I said, I get why they released the song. It feels kind of like the pop song. I think Food Chain is better for sure, but I get why they would put this one out because I think that this would probably appeal to the masses. At the end of the song, it's really cool. It kind of quiets down and it feels like you're like in this open room party thing with lots of people talking going on. Like there was I don't know, like a concert in the living room kind of thing, which it's cool. I like that. It's
It's
a
a
cool way to go
Beatles
out.
move. Yeah,
It's
that
very
kind of sound
Beatles.
effect thing.
Like you hear the
Yeah,
clinking of the
yeah,
glasses. Is that this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
right. It's like a cocktail party's happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
People talking, yeah. I think it's a good end to the first side of the record here because there was just with doing that, it's like you hear people talking, you're kind of like, okay, let's take a break, let's go to the bathroom, then we'll flip the record over and get to the other side. So this one's cool. Like I definitely give this one a thumbs up. It's not at all my favorite, but it is not at all my worst. I think it's pretty close up the middle, and I think I will remember this one. Aim?
This one's okay. I don't think it's like mind blowing. I think that it's catchy, like you said. I think that the positives are again, there's parts that have really good harmonies. There's like a deeper harmony in some part of the chorus, no, the verse. It's got a good groove. I think that the way he's singing the lyrics against the instruments is just really nice. It's very sing-alongable. you know, I like the part that he says they look the same already. Why adjust? Like just the way he sounds on that part. Doug will sing it better than me.
Well, I've been summoned.
I think
Uh-huh.
that I like the bridge, and like he does this on all of his songs. He just like packs a lot into each line, and it's very clever wordplay. I mean, like you said, Doug, it's not like real true wordplay, but he's just picking just the right notes to like the right words to fit in, and they rhyme, and it's very cool that he's able to do that. I think this song is about a one night stand. It's going to tell about the guy, we're going to tell about the girl, and then they're going to get together at the end. And it just kind of captures that, like the 20s, like my 20s. This is what I think of. Like, I'm going out, I'm going to have a drink, and we'll see what happens for the night. And it's just kind of fun. And there's something about it that it just like that essence of being young and not responsible for anything, that it just captures that. So this is okay. It's not one of my favorites, but it's got a pretty decent score.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I mean, it is. I really enjoy this. I think the component, like pieces of it, are really strong. I think that verse is cool because it keeps like reaching. He's been waiting around for the weekend. Da, 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 da. He keeps kind of going up and up and up, and then he lets that go. And then we get to that chorus or pre-chorus part, right, where he goes minor key for a bit. Yeah, the because it's hot, his charm is good. No, that's not it. Just before he hits it, he's gonna get him through the night. That as he runs through that speedier set of syllables to get to if she's gonna rock, he rocks. But this is like a pool party to me. This song, like it's very summery, like good times and vibes. Listening to this. And you said like the lyrically, it's kind of fun. Like it is this couple or two people maybe hooking up or whatever's going to happen with them. And oh blah da, life goes on,
Yeah.
kind of. It's that sort of a feel. And that part you did mention, that like the bridge, I guess, where he starts throwing in like an in a wink. They're on the brink from drink to drink and at the bar with cash to blow, shot to shot. It's getting hot. That's a Baraz move, that kind of stuff.
Very much so.
Yeah, and he does that well here. Like I think the song, so it's really like well crafted within an inch of its life to be this like perfect little capsule of a pop song. And so yeah, this is gonna get one of my higher scores. Like I said, this is such a pleasant, like joyful song. You kind of can't help but get swept along with the earworminess, especially of the chorus.
Definitely. Yep. All right. I think we're all going to be pretty high on this. I predict us all above an 80. Me first, 80.
86.
95.
Jeez.
Okay.
I love
All
it.
way up there. All right. Let's take the record off and flip it over.
Do we have to? Do we have
Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
I know. I mean, it's going to be okay, but it's still a little bit,
It's all right with me, but it's gonna not be for a second.
It's not going to be for a second. No, it's not. So let's start this and get going. Amy,
I
you're going
guess
to do
we
this next
agree.
one.
I guess we agree.
Yeah.
And it's not terrible. I misspeak. I'm misrepresenting because I don't hate it, but the song is like a low point. It's the lowest point for me. I just
Yeah. Maybe we
Wait,
just
you
do our
didn't even
ratings and move on to the
you
next.
didn't even introduce it. Wait, you
I
should
didn't.
introduce
I
it.
know.
But I don't even care. Watch Doug's
We
gonna be
flip
like,
up.
this is my 98.
This is the
It's not,
best.
but you can
Okay.
do.
Okay,
Let's
take
do
a
the
step
format.
back. Go ahead.
All right. Here we go. Track number 6. Oh.
Oh, 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 oh. I got arrested in the dark of the night. The cop got restless as he read me my rights. He told me I'm always envious of those that I jail. If I got locked up, nobody come to help me post bail. And I said, oh, oh, oh,
Oh, it's 3:54. Oh, Amy, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Um, it's got a nice piano groove. We'll start with the positives. Um, I like the melody of the bridge that I'm never sure what I'm living for, but it's always on my mind. And I think it's going to be fine. Like that's a nice message. It's kind of catchy, but it's not really. I strongly dislike the O's. Maybe that if he had put real words in there instead of O, I think it would be better. But
yeah.
it's not doing it. I don't like sound like this kind of like a sound effect. It's a filler. Um, and I don't really understand the point of the lyrics. I don't know what he's saying in the verses. I don't get it. Doug, maybe you can tell us a little bit.
I have a hunch, but go ahead.
And that's all I have to say about it. I don't hate it. I definitely don't love it.
Yeah, I don't despise the song either. I think it's fine. I think it's again like it. There's things about it too. Like I think it's got a fun little groove. I think the way it's produced is interesting because on some of these, the like when we talked about, let's say like you don't have to believe me, like the band's going nuts, and here it's way more reserved. They really kind of get out of the way of his vocals, which is most of what's really happening, other than just because the musical part is just basically like bum bum ba da 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 ba da 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 dum dum. That's it. Like there's not a whole lot happening musically. It's just there to kind of be this bass line for him to sing over. And I think his vocals are still good. Like he's a good singer on this. Even the O's, even if you don't like them as a lyrical device to say oh, they're well sung.
Yeah.
It's that doesn't seem to bother me as much as you two, where like it's like yeahs or ohs or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. It's just like it's a piece of a piece. It doesn't matter for the whole thing. But um, I think what the lyrics are about, I think the O is just kind of this like, whatever happens, I just kind of go, oh well, and I move on to whatever it is, right? He talks about like I got arrested is the first verse, and and he said I'm always envious of those that I jail. If I got locked up, nobody'd come to help me post bail. That's what the cop says to him, and his response is, "I said, oh." Like everything is like no matter what happens to Mr. Hutchinson, he just takes it in stride. And I guess that's kind of what he's going for. So again, like I'm not as frustrated with the song as you guys are, but it's fine.
Did I say I was frustrated with it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
it.
I mean, I feel like you agreed with me when I was like, do we have to turn this over? But maybe
Yeah,
it's other songs you're talking about.
could be those two, but yeah. So the thing that's weird about this one is it is not horrible. It's like this mix of like there's good things going on, which I'll talk about, and then there's bad things, and you really take both of those good and bad, and you figure out where your rating is. So to start off with the good, it's got a good melody, it's got a good piano, it's got good feel, good chords. It's not misery just with all those things. So that alone is going to give it like 70, 80, 90, right? It's got to lead up into that direction. But the problem is the O's is a big part of it. And then there's just the lyrics in general. Like I read them, I honestly was thinking when I was reading them, I don't even want to write any down because it's not really worth it because it's just not, I don't really want to put that much time into this because it's really not great. But I didn't like the lyrics for this one, and we know that I'm not strong on lyrics. Lyrics don't have to be good, but if they're bad, then it makes the song worse, and that's what this did. Is the lyrics were not good. He met Latinos up on a hill and did something. I don't know. I'm just not interested, especially with the O is a cop out. You said something like that, Amy, to where like it could have just put something better there. The melody's not necessarily bad, but he does this cop out and just does this oh.
You know what it is? It's like it's this. He's doing these verses are like they're very like up until that point, right? He's building interest, like, oh, something unusual is happening. It feels like the setup to a joke, and then there's no punchline. The punchline is, I said, oh,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
well, you were building to something.
Yeah.
What?
If it was just the if that was just like in between, it wasn't the focus of the song, and
Like
it
the
wasn't
chorus.
called oh.
Yeah.
If it was just like the musical break that he uses like vocally, that's fine, and just put a different lyric in the other part. Like It
Yeah.
just needed some editing.
You're right. You could have just landed a joke or
Yeah.
something that closed it, and then in between
Yes, you could
verses,
cut
For
it.
the
there's just
O's.
Yes.
vocalizing. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't call it that. Call it whatever this other thing
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
But the melody's decent, so it's not going to be a horrible rating. I want to skip this one every time I listen to it because we go through this process. So I got like 10 or 15 listens of this song. It's not the worst. Well, maybe the worst on the album. It's not the worst in the world. It's not horrible.
No, it's not terrible. For me, we're at scores now, right?
Yeah.
It's an 82, so it still crosses the
Ooh,
80
what the
threshold.
fuck? Okay.
I don't hate any of this song. Like there's just some that are strong and some that are not that strong.
Me?
Uh,
Oh, sorry. Um, yeah, I still give this an 85 because like I think the overall sound of it is very pleasant, and I can overlook kind of the other stuff. I can just sort of go like, ah, it's just nice to have on. So it still gets an 85 for me.
wow, there's nothing close to me. But this is not a speed demon. This ain't going to be, way down there. But it's pretty low. It's 67.
So I was slightly wrong with my everything's going to be above a 70.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we'll see where we go. But so far, you're 5 out of
Pretty
6.
close. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty close.
All right, let's go to the next one here. We're going to song number 7. This is called All Over Now.
A large pickup truck with a little cargo tote gets from bakers to the laundromat. These daily fights all start to sound alike. I guess I'm gonna have to live with that. Short change, now it's getting even harder to identify the repetition. Short change, now it's getting even harder to identify the repetition. Ooh, well, I sip and peel away. Ooh, feels more like every day. Ooh, say that something's gonna give, and it's all giving out on you. When it's all over now, it's all over now. It's no longer fun, it's all been overdone, so it's all over now. And if you came here to tell me that you're sorry for the pain you couldn't cause, then save your breath and use it just to regain what you have lost. Oh, and look at the cost. It's all over now.
3 minutes, 44 seconds. Doug, go ahead.
So again, another solid melody. This one is interesting in that once again, like the band is more out of the way, kind of like they are on O. It's mostly just that drum, just that that runs through the whole thing. And there's a little bit like kind of lighter touch on piano and like acoustic guitar, kind of giving this thing kind of the spine that it's on. And it's pretty. To me, the strongest part of it is just, it's no longer fun and it's all been overdone, so it's all over now. Like he resolves that melody. I think that's good. That like that part of it. The bridge is interesting because it's very different in terms of like the chords they use to bring that to life. I think that's kind of cool. He's good at that. Like I think a bridge can be tricky to write because you're going to change up, into a C part of the song no one's heard before, and it still has to feel like it goes together. I think he's pretty good at making those very unique and still making them, not feel out of place. So I like that here. But once again, I think overall, like it's just kind of fine. Like there's no part of it that really excites me. Again, so this is another one, kind of like the last one, where it's like this is pleasant to have on, but it doesn't like I don't, it doesn't make my hair stand up or anything.
Yeah, kind of with you. We're definitely in a lull. We're in a part of the album where it's kind of like a little valley. It's definitely better than the last one, but this kind of reminds me of the first track. Not that it's anything like Okay, It's All Right With Me, but I think I'd like it about as much, maybe less a little bit, because I have a hard time wanting to get into it. Like the thing about Okay, It's All Right With Me is it grows on me and it gets better and better over the time. This one doesn't. But with that said, I still don't hate it. I still kind of like it, actually. It feels like it should be the closer based on what the words are. It's all over now. We're going to change that, how I feel about that when we get to the closer, which I will get into. But at this point, it kind of feels like it should be the closer. Let's see. What else did I write down? I feel the feel is good. It just doesn't do a lot for me listening to it often. There's this grindy keyboard instrument, the Stevie Wondery type of thing that comes in, I think, at the second verse, and it stays there throughout the rest of the song. Just as I think I'm ready to skip the song every time, like I do with O, I don't because I hear that instrument and I get very engaged. If you put your headphones on, you could hear it on one side, and it's very cool. There's something going on where it's just kind of jammy, grindy little keyboard throughout the whole last two-thirds of the song. It's got a cool outro. Drums, percussion, keyboard, instruments, bass. It kind of jams out at the end. I don't like the pre-chorus I wrote down. I wrote down that it was annoying. I don't remember what it is, but I wrote down it's annoying. But yeah, I don't hate this one. This isn't one of my favorite ones, but it's okay. I'd listen to it again occasionally, I guess.
Okay. I think I like it a little bit more than you do. I think it's another one of those that kind of just grows on me the more I hear it, and it's all about the verse. I think it's just really freaking catchy. I don't think I'm annoyed at the part that you are. I'm guessing it's the something's gonna give. It's
Ooh,
all giving out on you, and it's
it's the
all
ooze.
okay. I didn't notice the oohs so much on this one. I think I was so stuck on the O's on the last one. Like I was like, this is like a breath of fresh air. I think that I mean it's another really catchy song. I like some of the words, the a bottom feeder at the end of my rope, but I'm wondering where this rope began. And then these daily fights all start to sound alike. I guess I'm going to have to live with that. So I think he's at the end of this relationship. Obviously, it's called All Over Now. But it's not like a deep like reflection on the relationship. It still sounds upbeat and like catchy. And so, I appreciate that he's able to give us these like poppy songs, even if like the end of the relationship is near. I guess because he's just got this mindset of it's gonna be all right. And oh, okay, let's move on. So I don't have a ton to say about this one. Just it's fine. It's catchy and it's like middle of the road as far as this album is for me. So it's fine.
All right, batter up for ratings, Doug.
Yeah, I'm giving this one another 85 again because it's kind of the same as the last one. Where it's just like I like it. It's fine. It's just not, and it's not unpleasant. It's just sort of there.
Mhm.
So 85.
Okay, it's fine for me too, but for me it shouldn't be over the 80 mark because it's even though I would listen to it again, it's still I don't love it. So it's a 72 for me.
Oh, that's the lowest we've seen from you. No, no, no. You
No.
did a 60.
Oh, it was a
Oh, yeah,
67.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. 86. It's really hard for
Okay.
me to like I have so much nostalgia for this album. It's really hard for me to go so low. On certain like artists, I'm just like I can't. Like when we get to Matchbox 20, I'm like I can't. Even though I don't like some of these songs, like
Huh.
respect, I will not do it. And he kind of crosses that threshold for me. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough, when you bring your own albums to this, you don't want to give it a bad rating, but not as like an ego thing. It's just like you
No.
like it. You truly like it and it's not bad to you. So it's got to get a
Right.
good rating.
But
Yeah.
again, it's like, yeah, it might be getting like an 86, but like there's a lot of songs that I like a lot better on other albums that would be like significantly like it's just like it's in the ecosystem of the album. So, but
I
yeah,
feel
it's
like I'm
not
getting more
ego.
away from that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we
Okay.
started off with the ecosystem of the album, the first few, but now that as we go through this, I'm starting to feel like my ratings are actually real life ratings compared to the rest of the world.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on to track number 8. This one's called It Hasn't Been Long Enough.
Long as I am erasing this, there's something I am bound to miss. Opportunities exist, but often don't arise. And think of how it must have felt to watch you walk away and melt. Keep it all inside myself and in between my eyes. And it's no surprise when we've become, since the arrival has begun. No, it hasn't been long enough to even begin to think it's alright. I'm only concerned with the way we end up. Oh, I think I've been wrong enough to know when I'm right. So put up a fight if you must. trust is undone. It hasn't been long enough. I feel as if I spoke too soon.
4 minutes and 20 seconds, and I'm going to get us started. Yeah, we got a winner here, guys. I'm really glad that it came back from where we were. Not that we were anywhere bad, but we were 67, 72. It's like, well, does this guy only have like a half an album worth of good songs? Because truly, like out of the first five, four of those were 80 for me. Like you got an Amy album where Kyle thinks that four of the first five were above 80. Good job, Amy. And then we sank. Well, rock and roll. And all. We're not going to analyze the past. Let's talk about this song. I like this one. This is solid. It's got these good parts. The piano's rocking. I really like the piano with his voice on this. The verse and the pre-chorus are good. And that chorus I sing often. It hasn't been long enough. Such a catchy ass part. Good placement of the song, by the way. I mean, because you could have put this is a hit. It could have been track number 3, 4, or 5, because it really is that good. It's one of the best. But there was other good songs up there, so he waited for this. He put this later on, and it's like, oh, you come back to something that's really great. So I like that. I think his voice very much fits the music. I think this is where I really realized that I really like the piano in him as the two combo of instruments. That's kind of my favorite. It's not necessarily him with a guitar or what the drums are doing, even though there's some cool bass stuff and all that. It's really just him and the piano is what I really dig. Excuse me. There's a cool sax in this song. I don't know if it's a tenor. It sounds like it's either an alto that's really low or it's a tenor sax. My guess would be the tenor. But it's cool to have some variety in there. I like that. I'll remember this one. This is a good one, guys. Really like this. I'm not going to say whether it's my favorite or not, but it's going to be a pretty high rating.
Do you guys think I like this one?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you love it. Yeah.
Okay. So I just tried to keep things interesting. I was going to be really offended if you guys did not like this song because I think it's so, so good. I mean, this has always been one of my favorites. Although, interestingly enough, I didn't give it as high a score. Oh, well. But yeah, is this a minor? I don't know
Yeah.
if that's why. It just like,
Yeah.
I feel it, And it's like, I finally feel like this is a song that is deeper, and I wish it came a little bit earlier. I think that's my criticism is like we needed a little bit more depth towards the beginning of the track listing, but that's fine. That's fine. It's always good to like end on a high note also. So whatever. I think that the piano grabs you, just the darkness of it. It's not really a ballad, but it's like almost, I don't know what you would call this, like a mid. Is this a mid-tempo or is this a
Mid.
ballad?
It's mid, yeah.
I
Okay.
think it's mid.
Okay. I think I just think it feels good. I like there's some parts of it. I think that the bridge is really, really strong. What's making you believe that the seventh like that part is really good. I also think that that chorus is really strong, and I really I like it all. So basically, I like all the parts. I think that the lyrically, I don't know if I understand exactly what he's saying, but I'm understanding it that this relationship is going on and off and on and off, and it hasn't been long enough for him to go back in yet. That's my understanding of it, but Doug will maybe analyze it a little bit differently than me. The trust is undone. It hasn't been long enough. We're not there yet, but anyways. So maybe it's a cheating song, maybe it's not. I'm not really sure, but it makes me think, and I appreciate that, and it's deeper than the other songs. So I really love this. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's really high.
Yeah, I love this one too. First of all, it's the only minor key song on this album, which
think
is
that's true.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. I wish there was more in this mode.
You're right.
Cool.
There's others that feel minor, like Outside Villanova feels minor, but it's really not. It's a major chord. So I think you might be right.
Isn't the next song minor?
Nope,
Huh.
not at
No,
all.
I think you're right, Doug.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the only one, and I'm not sure that there's many minor key songs on the next album. It's just not something he does, which is a shame because he's so good at it. This is a wonderful melody.
Well, All Over Now is minor. The one before this is kind of minor.
A little bit, but I don't think you get a minor vibe out of it like you do with this.
No.
Like this is
You're right,
much
you're right.
more strong. And as you guys have already talked about, like right, that reaching in the chorus, it hasn't been long enough. Like that's really strong, and they bring in a lot of great harmonies in those too. You can hear that higher part on some of those. I think that adds wonderful layers to this. The sax is a great choice to bring that in there because it's not like this is a noir feel, but it's got a little like Sting has like solo stuff that has this kind of vibe too, like where he'll bring in saxes and stuff to do these sorts of numbers. And I really like this here. I think there's so much to love about this. And then he gets more intense in some of those parts too. Like I guess it's the bridge. What's making you believe? Like he starts really hitting that hard for those parts of the song. There's like drama to this. And so yeah, this is gonna get one of my highest scores. I think this is easy, like just he nailed it. He absolutely nailed what he set out to do here.
I really like the oh, like the little tags at the end of each of the chorus lines. It's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some ratings. I'm going to kick us off here. I am at an 87.
93.
93.
Double ding.
Double ding.
It's been a while since we've had an all three in a row jackpot. It's been like at least 5
We've only had
podcasts.
one.
Really hard.
One all time. Yeah, let's see what we get. All right, we'll see what we get here for the notorious track number 9, the second to last song on the album here. So this one's called Back to Where I Was.
New life decides to come through the front door and make a switch. We'd shown respect before, though I don't have much of a choice. I resolve to regain my voice and know if I only just begin. Understand it, that's because every time I start to change my mind again, gets me back to where I was, gets me back to where I was. New life decides.
3 minutes, 10 seconds. Amy, your turn to get us going.
This is definitely not the worst song on the album by a long shot. It's one of my favorites. So good on him for putting it on the 9th spot, because you're right. Like you're kind of winding down and it's like, usually it's like the worst of the songs, but hell no. This song I think is fantastic. I love it. It's got heart. You can feel him singing it. I mean, I interpret it that they are pregnant and they're not sure what to do with it, but just based on the words he's singing, new life decides, like we never had a clue. The two of us deciding what to do, though my hands are all but tied. Like it's not his choice to make. I rebound, so at least I say I tried. To me, that's like they're in a pickle, and they're gonna see what they're gonna have to figure it out. I'm sure it could be other things that they're in, like they're going through, but to me, like that just seals the deal for me. So it's deep and it's this is an important track. I think it's almost ballady. It's not quite, but it has that feel to it. I think it's really pretty. There's these parts that he sings. The line at the end of the verse before it goes right into the chorus, I rebound so I can say, at least I tried. I know that's not what it sounds like, but it's much prettier than that. But it's just so pretty. I think his voice this is like the best of his voice. Just the way his vocals are able to soar. I wrote down that I thought it was minor, but you guys are telling me it's not. So there's that.
I think it is. If I think about it, I think it's minor. It just doesn't feel as minor as the last one, because the last one is just minor all the way. But the first chord is minor.
This song is a minor song. To me, it is. It just feels like, even if it's not really, it feels like a little bit deeper and darker, which is how I generally feel with those songs. So yeah, this is the strongest for me. I love it so much. To you.
Also, this is a wonderful song. Yeah, this is a wonderful song. I think it's lyrically interesting, dealing with a hard issue. I don't know necessarily if it's literally like, are we going to abort this kid or not? It also could mean, are we going to get married or not now that you're knocked up? Like that could be
Yeah.
the dilemma, right? But it's put them into some kind of a dilemma they have to resolve. And I think the way he expresses that in the chorus, like it's a short little chorus, it's a two-line chorus, but that if I only just begin to understand it, that's because every time I start to change my mind again, it gets me back to where I was. I'm thinking in circles.
Hmm.
And like we've all been there about something where you just like, yeah, you can't get anywhere because every time you think you've tried, you're back at square one. And this song has an almost lullaby kind of feel to it. Not that it's slow and will put you to sleep, but it's very sweet. Like this sound, it's mostly just an acoustic guitar kind of driving it, and then like some very light kind of tones in the back, like a jazz organ or something. Like it's just a wonderfully like light, just pretty song. Like it's just very, very pretty. And I mean, I know that's not very deep in terms of musical analysis, but that's what it is. Like all these melodies on this song, like everything resolves really well. I think that's why, right? That just, gets me back to where I was. Like it just, even that note, I think, is the note where he started, right? He makes sure that melodically he gets back to where he was. So, yeah, high praise for me. I really enjoy this.
Well, no,
You
I'm just
agree.
kidding. That's
Of
good.
course you agree. It's
It's
so
solid. Yeah,
good.
it's solid. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like favorite love kind of thing, but it's definitely not the second to last kind of song. This is not at all the worst by any means. Um, yeah, let's see. I think that the placement is interesting. I think that the rating for this would probably be much higher if it was up front with those first few like two, three, four bangers, because I was just so into it at that point in the album. By this point of the album, it's just stylistically, since it's not completely my cup of tea, I tend to kind of tune it out. But all of that aside, like this is a solid track. Like the songwriting's good here. It's got a good groove. It's got these good verse, pre-chorus, chorus parts. That chorus part is really pretty. It's just a really pretty part. There's really nothing bad to say about this song. I don't know that this will be one that I'll come back to and remember it. But I still think it's good. I think it would be good live. I wrote down that I can imagine this one being on a Tiny Desk concert. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. I'm sure, Doug, you've seen that before. Bands will, there's a stage show where they go behind desks, and sometimes you'll have three people, sometimes it'll be 10. But I can imagine this being on there. A lot of backing vocals in the song, too, which would kind of add to that. This kind of feels like the follow-up to You Don't Have to Believe Me. And totally different kind of song. I like it just about as much. But it feels it's like in that same kind of hooky, sing-alongable, everyone clap along kind of vibe, which I really dig. I think it really fits the whole style of the album. Melodic, hooky chorus. I like it. It's good. Thumbs up.
Okay. For me,
Ratings, Amy.
yep, it's 95.
92.
80 for me. Lots of 80s, guys. I got to tell you.
Mhm.
I'm surprised, Amy, that, I mean, so far, one, two, three, four, five, six out of the first nine were all 80s for me. So pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Let's finish this guy out. Last song here. This is the closer. This is You've Got You.
Oh, I got a bone to pick with you and this opportunity. I couldn't live this down enough to make up for you and me. I feel it swelling in my soul. I've been choking up inside. I bite my tongue and for your sake, but I'd swallow too much pride. And who will be sorry first? Who will be sorry first? And if you won't be the one to budge, I can tell what I'm worth. And you got you to blame for what you do to you. There's nothing shocking, so it must be true. And let me set this record straight on the drama you create before you go and turn your back on me.
4 minutes, 38 seconds. This is officially the longest song. And Doug, go ahead and get us going.
I wish this wasn't the last song. I wish the last one. I think gets me back to where I was here. that is, it just feels like it's putting you to bed, just it's so nice and it just sets you down easy. That should have been the last song. This feels more, you know, it's got a groove to it, but this one doesn't stand out as much as some of the others that groove really well. So it's like, again, it's fine, but like, I like some of the aggression to it. I got a bone to pick with you. Like he kind of just kicks off right there. That's kind of fun. Like he starts off angry. Um, but I don't think he's not much of a poet of anger, I will say. Like he's much better with, these other kinds of subjects where it's, about longing or, life kind of stuff or love. And like he's not the guy who's going to kick your ass. Like he's just not. And so I think it it's not funny enough to be like kind of like cheeky when he says that. It just sort of, who'll be sorry first? Like he's trying to like, I don't know, mama said knock you out. Like it's just not there, So it's okay. Like again, the musical components, all of them, this is still a guy who knows what he's doing in terms of composing a song and with his instruments. But yeah, none of this really moves the needle for me. Like it's just sort of like, okay, I guess it's there. Like I just feel like you could have cut this from the album. It would have been fine.
Okay, I think I may be a little different. I got a bone to pick with you. I like that. Kind of gets me into it right away with all that energy that he's got. Originally, a little earlier, I said All Over Now would be a good closer. Once we get to this one, I like it as a closer. I think that this is actually a good closer. I do agree, Doug. I think Better Back to Where I Was could also be a good closer. So it's got, yeah, I probably kind of already lost it. Hey, listeners, we just had a technical difficulty. So in the middle of this, I got confused. But I really like this as an ender, as a closer, and I really like the chorus is where I was going to go with this. This chorus has got this giant kind of chorusy, sing-alongable whole people going for it. You got you. It's just very sing-alongable and hooky. And I like that. I like that as a closer. I like that as a way to kind of end this out. Um, the end gets kind of dark. I just wrote that down that it gets kind of dark at the end. I don't remember. I don't remember why, but it does. Anyhow, this song has a lot of energy. This is not my favorite song. I think it's a good closer. I can imagine a big old group of people singing around a campfire singing this one. Good stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like the recording of this one too feels live. Are all of these songs recorded live or just some of them?
They
It's
don't
got
feel
like
like
a live raw feel to it. I don't know if that's
Some of the tracks, maybe.
yeah. So yeah, this is another one of those tracks where it's like it feels down and gritty to me. So we're bringing it like almost full circle on that. I don't like this one as much. It's another kind of middle for me, and middle for me is like 80, low 80s. But I like it. I think it's catchy. I think that it's a pretty strong verse and chorus. I just don't think I connect as much with it lyrically. I think my analysis was like she wronged him, he can't fix it anymore, and she can only blame herself. So you got you and you got the choices that you've made. At least that's how I interpret it. I thought this felt like a weird ending song. I think maybe it fit in more with like the grittiness of the beginning, and I don't know what that means for the ending. Maybe back to where I was, but again, like I also want dynamics. And so overall, that's like my criticism with this album is like maybe we could have used a couple more ballady type songs to spread out throughout. I almost stabbed him again. But I mean, that
Ooh,
said, we've
death by
got
only murders in the building.
you're
it was the red pen that took him out.
mightier than the sword indeed.
So yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Boom. But it's a fine song. I don't hate any of that. I like you, Eric. Good job, Eric Hutchinson. You're a good writer. Thank you for entertaining me. And it's only 30 minutes.
Who's a good singer songwriter?
You, Eric,
You
you're so
are.
good.
You are, Eric.
All right. So we got to do
It's only been an
scores.
hour. We've only been talking for an hour.
All right, scores for this one, right?
Yeah.
We're starting with
You.
me, 82.
I was really hoping we'd all get a trio on this one. I'm an 80.
84. It's too, we're too
82
unpredictable.
average.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too hard.
The,
But we did it.
Doug needs his notes. All right, we got to talk about our overall thoughts and impression. No,
Well, no, first
final
we're
thought.
going to do
Oh,
our favorite and least favorite tracks, final thoughts, aggregate scores. So, we start off with me, I think. So my favorite track, I think, was Rock and Roll, followed by Hasn't Been Long Enough. And then my least favorite was Food Chain.
Okay. And for me, Food Chain was the best, followed by It Hasn't Been Long Enough and Outside Villanova. And my least favorite was this O Business.
yes, same. Oh, business is the least favorite. And I've got a few that are over 90. Okay, it's all right with me. Back to where I was outside Villanova, and it hasn't been long enough. So we got four tracks over 90, which is pretty strong.
7 above 80 for me, Amy. Good job.
Yep. All right, so that leads us to our final thoughts on this. And my final thoughts are pretty much the same as my opening thoughts. I just every time I hear this album, it's always a treat. Like, so many of these songs are so solid and just so easy to listen to. Even for the most part, like even the ones I dislike comparatively, I still like. Like there's still so much to enjoy about him. He's just, I think the word I used before is ingratiating. Like there's something really welcoming about his sound. Like he feels like a good time. Like you want to just go along with, like, sure, like, I could use some good cheer today. Like, bring it to me, Eric. Like, this is good stuff. So yeah, I've been enjoying this album ever since I started hearing it in your car. I'm sure I'm going to hear it again. And I'm sure I'm going to hear more from Eric Hutchinson's other stuff as well, which is, he's got some wonderful other songs. Like I said, I think some of the stuff on the follow-up album is stronger than this one. Like I said, maybe we'll get to that one eventually at some point, so we can compare them. But like, I'm glad we're doing this. Like, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, of course. What an easy, delightful choice.
Mhm.
And I will give you my. So I don't think this is stand the test of time kind of music. I don't know that I'll come back to it often, but I liked it. I think it's good. I think that this is the kind of thing where I'd probably come back every few years and listen to all of it, because really all of it. I mean, 67 was the lowest score. There's nothing horrible. I think I would come back. I just don't think often. I think a couple of these are the ones that would stay in my rotation, like those top ones. But I like it. I mean, it's just good stuff. It just goes to show that you just don't know what you're going to get when you hear something. Like initially, I wasn't so into this, but this completely grew on me over time. So, yeah, as I don't think I'll pick it up very often, I still appreciate it, and I enjoyed it. Good experience for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is just such a good reminder that there's so many random artists out there that are producing quality things, and it's fun to dive into these because you guys, I mean, Kyle, you've never heard this before. And so it's, let's explore more, it's just a fun experiment. But yeah, I like it a lot. You're right. The second album is so good. We were listening to it in the car and I was like, damn, I didn't realize I liked it as much, but yeah, there's so many strong songs on there too. And yeah, you're right. I'll probably put this album away for a while. I've heard enough, listening to a 30-minute album about 20 times. It's enough for now, but I love it. And thank you, Eric, for creating all these masterful melodies. I think he's got a real skill at that. And so great songwriting. Good job.
All right, so let's do our final aggregate scores for Sounds Like This. My
Before we do that, before we do that, I want to, yeah, I got a couple stats to bring as usual. Usually this is the part of the podcast where I do a few little sort of Power BI type of stats for us. So what I did for this one is I looked, since this was an Amy podcast, I looked at other Amy podcasts and I looked to see how we all feel about them. So if we look at Amy first, at only the podcast that you've brought to the table, you've Wide Open Spaces has been the highest at a 91.4. Just Won't Burn was the lowest at 83.3, and everything in between there. And the only thing above 90 was Wide Open Spaces. Everything else, 83 to 88. We go over and we look at Doug and how Doug feels about Amy choices. Never been anything above a 90, but that's tough to get anything above a 90. But the lowest was Ben Queller at a 78.3. Also, Drive was around a 79. Everything else has been above an 80 out of the Amy ones. The best one that Amy brought to the table, according to Doug, was Wide Open Spaces at an 87. If we go look at me, I'm probably the hardest on Amy. Only two are above an 80, and that was Great Divide, and then Wide Open Spaces was at an 83.2. All other ones were below. But Just Won't Burn was up there in the 78s, and Shasha was 76. So the Drive album brought down the Amy ratings for me. So let's go ahead and see where this album falls for all of us. So let's see. I guess, Doug, you first, huh?
Yeah, my overall score is 86.4.
All right, 86.4 for Doug. All right, for me, guys, I wanted to get to 80 so bad, but I ended up being a 79.8. So close.
Okay. And I think
Amy.
I thought you were going to be in between, like 75-ish.
I think you said high 70s for me.
Yeah,
No, he did, I think. He
I
said
did.
like 77, 78.
I just said high 70s and I was right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. My score was an 88.8, assuming that Outside Villanova was around when I said it was.
It'd be actually
right.
higher because you gave it like a 95 or something.
I gave it like a 95.
Yeah.
But my average I wrote down before. So it's fine. That's
So,
true.
so we're going with 85, or 85. That is where this falls. 85 is where the average for this album falls, which is actually pretty damn good. 85. American Egypt was around there. Revolver was a little bit over an 86. Wide Open Spaces was above an 87. Pinkerton 88. But this is still pretty up there. It's a pretty solid choice.
Indeed.
Wow. Like, who would have thought nice old Eric Hutchinson would have been close to Revolver?
All right. Well, now it's time for we're kind of on pins and needles here because it's time to reveal what we're doing next. We're gonna have a
Drum roll.
guest.
How is it going to hear that?
I'm going to play it. You see.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's how we're going to hear it.
My goodness.
We have a recording here from our guest Dylan Riss, who we all know personally, but he's got two things. He's got Lost Moon Radio, which is his comedy troupe that he's involved in. That's a very musical comedy troupe, as well as the Moon Units, which is his they're like a wedding band. They do like lots of events and stuff. They do live band karaoke. And so before I play what his pick is, which I can confirm for all of you, I have not listened to yet. I have not opened this email. Get some predictions as to what this is going to be. So I'll throw it open to you guys, see if you have any thoughts on. I know what the likely things are based on what I know some of Dylan's favorite bands are. That doesn't mean he's going to pick one of those, but just, if you're a betting man, that's where I would go. So Amy, what do you think he's got?
Okay, I'm going to say it's either the Pixies or Billy Joel.
I like the Billy Joel choice. I'm going to go ahead and just go on a limb here and say Permanent Vacation, Aerosmith.
Oh, interesting.
He does love Aerosmith. That is one of the bands that he likes a lot.
What if he picks something we've already done?
That'd be surprising.
He would not have picked Nine Lives. I can promise you that.
He doesn't like that album.
He would have.
He doesn't know it.
Or,
okay.
I don't know, Toys in the Attic or something. But no. And I thought, the other bands I know he loves is Bruce Springsteen. He loves a whole lot, and Steely Dan. He loves a whole lot. Those are also possibilities.
Please don't be Bruce Springsteen.
Oh God, Bruce Springsteen is so good. All right, let's see what he got. Here we go. Okay.
So that last one didn't work.
Nope. This is take two. Dylan, without realizing it, picked Automatic for the People, which is the album we literally just did. So we've asked him to send us a different choice for our next episode. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Dylan Riss, and the album I'm bringing is Big Red Letter Day by Buffalo Tom.
Ooh, Buffalo Tom. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
We can't hear you, Kyle. So we're getting Kyle's face reactions, and he went like this.
They didn't hear that one either. So,
but that doesn't help you guys out there.
He made a big old confused, surprised face.
So
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get a natural reaction from Kyle.
No clue. Never heard of that in my life.
Okay.
That's my reaction.
They have been featured in the show My So-Called Life, and that is how I know them. That's all.
That's probably what we're going to be talking about most during that episode. So.
From me. That's my commentary.
Yep.
All right, so what's it called again? I got to write this down.
Play it one more time, maybe. Big red letter or something.
Big red letter Buffalo Tom. Something like that.
Buffalo Tom. Got it. Okay. Weird. Well, REM probably would have been easier, but okay.
Here we go.
I think it's music you're going to like, though, Kyle. The song I know is like rock, so.
Yeah, they're Bon Jovi-ish sounding from what I remember.
Bon Jovi-ish.
I
Okay.
don't know about that.
No?
The alternative rock band from Boston is what
Yeah.
Wikipedia
I
says.
wonder
So
if Dylan knows them personally.
I mean, turns out he knows Eric Hutchinson. We'll talk about that next time.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
right.
Well, cool, guys.
Neat. All right.
all right, cool. Well, plugs and admin.
Plugs and admin stuff. So, Amy, if they want to find your cool earrings and things, where do they go to buy your stuff?
You can find me on Etsy under Momo Bunniesmore Co.
And Kyle, where do they go to get your cool music?
Silver Dork album called Summer Somewhere is out there, as well as a couple other albums. You can go everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, the works.
And as for me, I'm the host of two other podcasts. We've got Nostalgium Arcanum, which is our weekly pop culture retrospective show where a guest brings on a topic that they still love from their youth, whether that's 20, 30, 40 years ago. And it could be music like this show, but it could very well easily be movies and video games or anything. So there's that. And then the other show I do is called Still Muppeting. That is a monthly show that I do over on Patreon. You got to go to patreon.com/stillloadingpod, drop in a few bucks to hear us once a month cover a different Jim Henson thing. So as we're recording this, the episode out is on Labyrinth, but by the time you hear this, it's going to be something else. So go check that out if you're interested. If you want to get in touch with us, go to our social media portals, which are all in the show notes. And of course, if you have time, do drop a review for this podcast or any podcast you listen to, because that really helps people find out about the show, as does word of mouth. We love word of mouth too. So yeah, tell a friend if you like the show. So I think that'll do it for this. We don't have a sign off. So until next time, okay, that's all right with me.
It's all over now.
It's all over now. I picked the wrong one.
I'm going to go back to where I was on the couch.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Ta-ding.